Let's be honest, Quidditch is not a good sport, or at least it's not one that was ever designed to actually be played. Its role in the Harry Potter series was just to show off how special Harry is, to the point where you might as well call it Harry Potter the Seeker and some other people on broomsticks, I guess. So the team at developer Unbroken Studios had their work cut out for them with Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, having to both honor the source material while also adapting Quidditch into a real game.
And it soars through the goal!
Surprisingly, they've done a pretty good job at that, with moment-to-moment action on the Quidditch pitch that's actually pretty great. But once you land between matches, Quidditch Champions doesn't have much off the pitch to keep you coming back. On the surface, the Quidditch in Quidditch Champions is just like the stuff in the books and films. There's still 4 positions. Chasers grab the quaffle and shoot it at the opposing team's goals, scoring 10 points if they manage to get it in. Keepers defend those goals. Beaters launch bludgers to satisfyingly stun members of the opposing team, and when that fails, they can whack them with their bats directly. And Seekers chase the golden snitch, a small, hard-to-catch winged ball worth a lot of points. But Unbroken has introduced a few rule changes that make things work better. Most notably among them, the Seeker is no longer the only one of these positions that ultimately matters. Matches end either when one team scores 100 points or a time limit is reached, and they don't just stop the moment someone catches the snitch. Speaking of, the snitch itself is only worth a much more reasonable 30 points instead of 150, and it can appear multiple times, usually about twice per game. That smartly makes the time you can switch to Seeker a little fun. Optional bonus during a match rather than the do-or-die moment of the entire thing.
The snitch has been caught!
There's also only 1 beater per team, not 2, which makes a lot of sense given how they can force other positions to play around them. The end result of all these tweaks is, frankly, a better game. It allows chasers to matter just as much, if not more, than seekers, while keeping the hunt for the snitch important, especially in tight matches. It lets the beater, who can incapacitate a member of the other team if they deal enough damage, be a strong and strategic part of the whole match without entirely dictating how it plays out. It makes every shot on goal matter, and most importantly, it ensures matches don't go on for 6 months. So, yeah, smart changes make for a better, more fun version of Quidditch, but what kept me coming back was the way the on-field action feels. Flying around the pitch is awesome, especially if you master Quidditch Champions' movement techniques. Managing your boost meter and learning how to dodge and drift properly are the differences between blowing past the other team as a chaser and faking out a keeper to land the perfect shot, or keeping up with the snitch during tight turns, and taking a bludger to the skull before contemplating your choices while face down in the pitch for the next 20 seconds.
That's a knockout by the beater!
Mid-match commentary will chime in alongside these plays either way, though it's unfortunately pretty stilted and generic.
Somebody had better score, or we'll fall asleep in the stands.
Whether it's Lee Jordan at Hogwarts or Rita Skeeter during the Quidditch World Cup,
Hufflepuff still possession!
there's good lines here and there, but they're usually reserved for the beginning and end of a match, while the mid-game stuff is dry, to say the least.
The chaser scores a goal!
Thankfully, every position has a fun role to play. I loved playing Keeper because I enjoyed the chess match between myself and the opposing chasers, reacting to their shots and dropping play-calling rings that restore my chasers' energy and give them speed boosts. Chasers are constantly tackling each other to steal the ball, moving up and down the pitch, and testing themselves against the Keeper. A well-played beater can pick apart the other team, disrupting a seeker at the last second, or taking the Keeper off the board to allow a game-winning goal. And because the Seekers can't just grab the snitch, they have to stay close to it and fill a meter before they can finally snatch it, every fight for those bonus points is essentially a race with another Seeker. And since you can switch positions on the fly, you can spend as much, or as little, time in each role as you like. It's great. It's even better, of course, when you're playing with friends. You can play cooperatively with 2 other players, or take on human teams with 3v3 action online, though switching positions there works a little differently. In that case, you choose a pair of positions, Chaser and either Keeper, Seeker, or Beater, and swap between those. What you lose in position flexibility, you make up for in the ability to coordinate with your team. In my first online game, I played mostly Keeper, making saves using the play caller rings to set up shots on goal, and passing to my friends so they could score as a chaser. It was a close game, but we won because we worked together. So Quidditch Champions is great on the field, but unfortunately it's pretty mediocre off of it. There's really nothing to do besides play these straightforward Quidditch matches, be that online or alone. You've got a limited career mode with 4 cups to win, with the opening Weasley Cup serving as a very good tutorial. The other 3 are the House Cup at Hogwarts, the Triwizard Quidditch Cup, and the Quidditch World Cup. After a series of preliminary matches, you're seeded into a single elimination bracket, winner take all. And while that may sound like it could be exciting, there are a couple of issues here. First, the Triwizard Cup and the House Cup only feature 3 and 4 teams, respectively, so the bracket stage is pretty short. And in the case of the Triwizard Cup, only consists of 1 match, because 1 team is eliminated in the prelims.
I bid you adieu.
And finally, while you can play career in co-op, and the menus encourage you to do so, Quidditch Champions doesn't actually track your progress if you do, meaning I ended up playing the House Cup 3 times to unlock the Triwizard Cup. My first 2 attempts, made in co-op, weren't saved. I didn't get any credit for any games I played in my challenge screen either, which tracks your daily, weekly, and career-wide progress across games and offers rewards once you complete them, which meant I missed unlockable cosmetics as well. That feels bad. Beyond career, multiplayer, and an obligatory practice mode, there just isn't much to do in terms of modes, which leaves the whole package feeling thin. The character customization, however, is at least quite good. You can customize your team, allocate per position stat points, and upgrade the several brooms you can choose from, all of which have different stats. This tinkering is welcome. There are a lot of options for your custom characters, letting you choose their look, how commentators refer to them, and plenty of cool bits and bobs like robes, wands, emotes, and such. Though it is a bummer that co-op progression problems mean you will have to grind single-player games to unlock a decent chunk of those items. Don't want to use custom characters? You can also unlock Harry, Ron, Hermione, Cedric Diggory, Draco Malfoy, Cho Chang, and the rest if you save up enough currency, or say it with me, level up your battle pass. While your eyes might already be rolling upon reading that, the good news is it's totally free so far, and you earn everything just from playing. There are no microtransactions in Quidditch Champions, at least not right now. After all, this is Warner Brothers. Do you trust them to build an in-game shop and not ask you to open your wallet at some point down the line? I don't. When you're flying around the pitch, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions can be a blast. Each position has a lot of depth to it, whether you're harassing the other team's seeker as a beater, drifting to keep up with the snitch as a seeker, faking out a keeper to score as a chaser, or making the perfect save yourself. Quidditch Champions makes smart rule changes to make this fantasy sport feel more fun while capturing the look and feel of the wizarding world. There just isn't much here off the pitch to keep you playing long term, and co-op progression issues mean you can't easily take on its career mode tournaments or grow your collection of unlockables with friends. Quidditch Champions did the near impossible by turning Quidditch into an actual competitive game, but I just wish there was a little more bristle on the end of this broom.
And that's the game!
For some real-world sports games, check out our reviews of Madden NFL 25, and for everything else, stick with IGN.